Okay, so start off by putting a bit of oil in the beast. We have four main oilers here for the pistons, the high pressure and the lower pressure piston, as well as the valves. A few drops of steam oil in each should do it. This certainly isn't an engine you can just fire up in 5 minutes and switch off. It's a little bit of preparation involved here. Get the oil in there, into the oilers, caps back on. There's always one of these that decides it doesn't want to go in. Now I'm always not quite sure what to use for the various links, but I'm going to use some very light oil today. You see there are oiler holes here for the shaft. 2, 3, 4 linkages for the valves and linkages for the pistons. I like to put a little bit on the water pump shaft. There's no other way I can lubricate that, but presumably, hopefully it's lubricated. Right. Okay, that's distilled water coming up to the boil. Should take a couple of minutes. I've got about just over half a litre of water, and it takes nearly a litre this boiler, so I should be just around the half full mark. Okay, I'm using an old Märklin funnel from the 1930s here to keep within the spirit of the thing. I don't know if you can see the little glass tube here, but anyway, here goes. I usually manage to pour this all over the engine, so I'm being a bit careful today. This could take a while. Oh. There it is. Just a little level coming up. As I say, it should be around the halfway mark. Fill the cap in, finger tight. That's it. Okay, now this burner is quite something. It's about the size of an Olympic swimming pool. It has the 2 large vaporizers and the 2 little wicks for the pilots, which heat up the vaporizers and get them going. It has a little hole here at the top of the filler cap as a vent, as well as another vent tube here. And these are the ones that have caused me trouble on the first few lights. This thing is completely empty. There's no baffles in here. Takes a lot of mets, so the slightest tilt will cause mets to come flying out of the vent tube here and the hole, and you can end up, which I did, with quite a large fire. So what I do now is I fill her up just over half. Okay, so we're ready to light the burner now. Just light the little pilot tubes. Pilot lights there. And plonk this in the There you go. Well, the vaporizers have kicked in now, so that's warming up. It takes quite a while, although I have boiling water in the boiler, it'll still take quite a while to heat up the whole system and get the pressure up. Now, while we're waiting, I'll show you what all these things do here. This is the little water pump. It's making some very strange noises in there. It's only the vaporizers, I think. That's the water pump that is run by a cam on the main shaft, and the camshaft comes into the pump. As I turn it, you can see the cam turning. I don't know whether you can on the video. Anyway, the water, you put a container here or use this tray with hot water, connect a little pipe to it, through there, to the pump, into the water, and then you have a choice. You can either have the water come up, and by turning this lever here, it will pump the water into the boiler. In this position, it will pump the water out of this nozzle here. Not completely 100% sure of what the point of that is, but I suppose I'll find out eventually. This is the usual boiler tap, which is disabled at the factory by Märklin apparently, and I have no intention of doing anything with it, so I'm leaving it as it is at the moment. As the gauge, still very much no pressure at all. This is the, I don't know whether you can see the steam regulator up here. You can just about hear the water starting to boil now. Quite an impressive whistle on this thing. It shoots out a plume of steam right up to the ceiling. We'll give it a try here.